Hello and welcome back to Moonlight Museum and of course 2 Point Museum. Now we're starting on the map screen today because someone very handy in the comments mentioned that I made a pretty critical error in Memento Miles. So we're going to load this up real quick, address that issue just so that I don't forget in the future, share this tip with you in case you also weren't aware, and then we will switch back over to the brand new museum that we are currently working on. So the issue lies in our gift shop. Now, because I have two counters here and we have a whole bunch of people working in here, the things are not getting restocked very efficiently. That is because this room is actually limited to only 2 staff. So I'm going to go ahead and raise that up to 3 staff just to make sure that things are always getting restocked and we are serving customers at a decent rate. The other option, of course, would be to remove one of these checkout counters. That is also a perfectly viable option. But with that done, we are going to go ahead and switch back to Passwater Cove and continue on our fishing journey. All right, we are back and ready to rock and roll. If I let the game run for a second, we have a little bit of an error. I don't know what that's on. I think it might be this. No, it's on something else. Is it the door? I don't know what that alert is for. We zoom all the way in. Maybe it's this. Yeah, it was that. Okay. And also my headphones have just gone flat, so I will be back in a sec once I fix that. All right, so now that that is moved, we should be ready to rock and roll now. No more errors, which is fantastic. We didn't have that error when we left the game last time, so I don't know quite what happened there. And I even think we could probably just go ahead and move that back if we really wanted to and not have any issues. Yeah. So that's a little bit of a weird bug, but it is what it is. So our main mission here is to reach museum level 15, and to do that we are going to need more fish. The question is, where can we actually expand to here? I think this is probably going to be the one that we have to end up doing. We're going to build 3 aquariums. They're all going to have these 3 fish in them, which is a little bit sad, but it sort of is what it is. We don't have any tropical fish and we don't have any way of getting them, and we can't display a tropical... Well... Can we display a tropical aquarium? That is a great question. If I go ahead and pin that and go ahead and build one of these small ones back out, I am curious to see if the tropical aquarium actually needs fish in it to be counted as tropical. So if we go ahead and build the aquarium right there, go ahead and place down our door. I think we want to line it up with that. Place down our water filter there. The only thing I believe we need for the tropical aquarium is the water heater. So throw that down there. That is now technically a tropical aquarium, I believe. We click done. Did that unlock it? I think it might have. Let's start an expedition. Yes, it did. So this actually rewards us with tropical fish. So that is very interesting. If you're curious how to expand in this, because that wasn't immediately obvious to me, that is how you do so. This needs 5 botany exhibits. We'll get there eventually, and a fresh food dispenser. I mean, we can unlock that also immediately. But for the moment, well, I don't know. Should we go ahead and get another tropical museum, tropical aquarium in before we do too much more? I think I might. And as much as I would like to have it here, I'm actually going to immediately sell that and build it over here because I would like my tropical aquarium to be a little bit bigger. So we'll grab the aquarium. We will stretch it out to, I believe it was 5 by 9. That makes 45. Throw the door back there and throw all of our related equipment back here. So that will go there. I believe we need a fresh food dispenser, I believe, for the tropical fish. And then we are going to also need a whole bunch of decorations. So I'm going to decorate this out and we'll be back in a little bit. Okay, I just noticed another interesting bug that I wanted to let you guys know. If you don't move the mouse and you hold Control and press X, This doesn't rotate, but if I hold control and, well, Z actually, not X, but same thing for both. If I hold Z down and I just wiggle it and sort of like press Z over and over, I can still move this little bit by little bit, but it's a little bit more awkward than it used to be. I don't know why that is the case and why they chose to change that, but maybe it's a bug. Who knows? Just something for you guys to keep in mind if you are trying to move your decorations around a little bit at a time. That'll probably do for now. That has 5 out of 5 decoration, and we can go ahead and start trying to find ourselves some tropical fish. Now, I'll probably go ahead, find both of these, and then switch straight back to our Hogsport Peninsula, just to get at least all of the knowledge on these, and also increase the survey level up a little bit, so that we can get some pristine quality fish. But for right now, I think I would like to go ahead and do this one. We are going to send the Crimson Lily Fairy. Looks like we need rapid restoration to be able to get better quality exhibits. We do have a hull breach and we have Lost at Sea, so I think it's going to be important for us to start leveling up Crimson Lily Fairy. And with that being said, I think I'm going to go back to here for now. Just for the moment, just so that I can get another fish, deconstruct them with Crimson Lily Fairy, and then she should be level 5 at least. And then we can go ahead and get another one of these things that are going to be important. So we're going to use the first aid kit. We are going to have slow sailing on this expedition, but I am okay with that. We'll send her out, and I might actually do this a couple times. I'll get the fish, deconstruct it or put it in if it's of a higher quality, and go from there. A couple new locations are available. It looks like we need more people in the gift shop. Yeah, we only have 1 staff working in there. I kind of want that to be 2 at all times. And let's look at how many assistants we have and what they can actually do. You're gluttonous, which I don't love. You have customer service. Yeah, you're hired. We'll grab 1 more assistant. They can all do basically whatever they want. I think that's going to be absolutely fine. We should potentially go ahead and train Alice Puffin in customer service just to make her a little bit better at her job, and that should be good to go. So I'm going to jump into the time lapse, catch a couple of fish, deconstruct a couple of fish, and we'll be back in a little bit. Alright, I've decided to train Crimson Lily Fairy in Rapid Restoration, just so that we can counter that 1 event. But I actually think it would be worth our time grabbing ourselves another marine life expert specifically for exploration. And that way we can go ahead and train them in both not rapid restoration, survey analysis skills, and also probably survival skills, although I haven't seen any that require it on here just yet. If we unlock that, if we look at the events, yeah, it looks like Fish Whisperer, Rapid Restoration are the main ones there. You are going to need a mechanic. That's fine. You are going to, well, I haven't seen a curse before. So this one does require survey skills, survival skills, I should say. Yeah, I think Pilot Wings, Rapid Restoration, and Survey skills are going to be the main ones that we need for the start. My main goal is going to be to get Crimson Lily Fairy back up to another skill point, and then I'll get Survey skills on her as well. And then we can go from there. She should be our main explorer from that point on. But we do have Kelpie Puffin, improves exhibit analysis speed, which is perfect. You are definitely hired, and I think for the moment I will train you in survey skills. That will be fine, and we'll go into our staff and our experts here and say you for the moment can't do analysis because we want Crimson Lily Fairy to level up once again. So once this has finished, or once this training has finished even, we can go ahead and send them out, and Crimson Lily Fairy can just stick around analyzing exhibits until they level up, and then we can switch the two back. That's the plan. All right, Crimson Lily Fairy is a little bit sad. She definitely needs to go on a break. She's thirsty, wants to resign, and tired. So at this point, we should probably go into our pay review, go to all staff, and satisfy all pay requests so that everyone's a little bit happier. She's really not having a good time. I know it's a he, but I feel like this is a woman's name. I'm not actually sure. Crimson Lily Fairy, if you want to clarify whether or not you want to be referred to as he or she, that would be very, very helpful. For the rest of this episode, I will probably keep saying she. I hope that's okay. We should probably also go into our finances and go ahead and raise everything up that we can. Because currently, everything is quite low. Strange that we don't have any sales on our drink machine, but I'm going to raise that up to 8, and let's go for, I don't know, $400 for that. I think that if I could get to 400, please. Please, my brain really wants that to be 400. Oh my goodness. 401. Sometimes like clicking the sliders resets. There we go. Let's say, I don't know, 165, 165, 200, 225 or 235 maybe? Yeah, 235 seems right. And let's go for 80 there. That should just help bring us in a little bit more money as everyone gets their pay rises. And as Crimson Lily Fairy here restores all of her needs, that will be very, very good. So we're going to continue on deconstructing and things until Crimson Lily Fairy levels up to level 10. And we'll go from there. Okay, weird bug. For some reason, Kelpie Puffin here, this is Crimson Lily Fairy. But somehow they got renamed to Kelpie Puffin. I'm not sure how that happened. Kelpie Puffin does need an E on the front of her name just so that I can make sure that I remember that they are actually an explorer. But yeah, I don't know how that happened. That is very, very strange. I'm just gonna roll with it though, and yeah, that is what it is, I suppose. Looks like we have our first exhibit showcase in the Aquarium Museum. It is going to be the Penny Pincher. The question is, where do we go ahead and throw this down? Because we really don't have that much room in this place. We could potentially move this over a little bit and scooch it in here. I think that's probably going to be the best way to do this. So I'm just going to throw that there for the moment. Move this over by a few, move this to more in the middle, and move this to more in the middle. And I think that'll work for the moment. This already is full. This is still full. We just don't have the knowledge and it's incomplete. So that should be fine. We've also finished another deconstruction. We'll get this floating fish in there. We are currently not getting any more knowledge. I believe we have knowledge for all of the fish so far. If we go for sort by knowledge, we have the Penny Pincher, which is full, Flying Fish is full, Floating Fish is full, and Clownfish is full. So at this point, we really are just using this to level up Crimson Lily Fairy here. She's currently at level 8. She's slowly getting there, and that is fantastic. We have another pristine exhibit, I think. Oh, that's not pristine. I thought it was pristine because of this gold glow. Apparently that is not the case. So you can go to the inventory. You will be deconstructed, and we'll continue on. We've unlocked a new location, and that is going to be Tide Mountain. Rewards for that are some more temperate fish, and I'm curious about the events. It looks like we have seasickness, slow sailing, avoiding sharks, fish food, and perfect catch at this location. The question is, where do we want to go next? We could... No, we can't do that yet. We could do that, but we're not going to. I think the next logical location is to go ahead and grab ourselves some tropical fish. The reason I don't want to do this one anymore... Well, actually, no. I do want to continue doing this one. I thought we had all pristine quality, but apparently the flying fish is still not quite there yet. So we're going to continue on with that until we get a pristine quality version of that fish. And then I think it's a safe point to move on from there. Also, for some reason, the bandage box 2 just isn't being upgraded. I don't know, maybe people can't reach it, but they should be able to. But this just isn't doing anything at all. So maybe if I try and move this. Yeah, I think this couch might be in the way. Let's go ahead and remove that couch for the moment. Yeah, now people can get to it. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, we'll continue on, get this pristine quality fish, and go on from there. I am adding a couple of extra pristine versions of the fish to this tank just to increase the buzz slightly. We've currently got 5 in there. If we have a little bit of a look. See them all floating around nicely. Flying fish has been deconstructed. New perk. Perfect. We're going to wait for this to come back. The analysis person can go on a little bit of a break, re-up their needs and things like that. And yeah, we're going to go from there. Fingers crossed, this is a pristine quality version of... Nope, it's not. It is not, but well, actually, no. We're not going to place it in the tank. We will, however, place it in the analysis room. All right, we'll be back in a little bit. There is our pristine version. We can go ahead and place that in the tank. I am going to go ahead and grab the non-pristine version, throw that back in the inventory, and I'm curious whether or not this deconstruction here is enough to get Crimson up to level 10. If it's not, we will go ahead and deconstruct that other one, but I'm just going to hold off on this next expedition for the moment, because if this does level them up, I would prefer to send them out. If it doesn't, that is what it is. Actually, you know what? They're going to have to do training anyway, so I might go ahead and send out Kelpie Puffin because they do have the survey skills boost here, which will remove the event lost at sea. We will get a slightly worse exhibit quality if we get this, but they also have the chance to do Slipstream, which reduces expedition time by 5 days. If we go ahead and give them a first aid kit, that should also nullify the hull breach, and that should be good. If we just go for safe here, I think that's going to be a better option. We're still going to get 35% in survey level, which, yeah, that makes sense. That's plus 30 boost, and yeah, we'll either get Slipstream or hull leak. Fingers crossed we get Slipstream. But yeah, that is going to be our first tropical fish that we can throw down in this museum. I also don't know why these guys are all complaining about food and water. There is food and water all over the place in here. And unfortunately, that didn't level them up. So we are going to have to throw the flying fish in there anyway. They will level up in basically no time at all. There it is now. And we can go ahead and train them in... What did I say I wanted to train them in? They currently have rapid restoration and pilot wings, so I think I'll give them survey skills just so that they are a nice all-rounder, and yeah, that should be good. They're going to go do some training. At this point, we can change our staff assignments and say, you no longer do the analysis room. We'll set that to Kelpie Puffin. As soon as they get back, train them up, probably give them a pretty similar skill set. We might not have pilot wings on them, but we will probably throw Rapid Restoration and Fish Whisperer on them instead, and I think that will be good. It is probably also worth throwing something on Rio Thumper, and I think Fish Whispering might be a good choice, because this passively increases fish stats while they are inside the aquarium. They are the ones that are mainly responsible for, you know, doing the fish food and all of that sort of stuff. So getting them trained up in that is probably going to be a good thing in the long run. Looks like we did successfully do the exhibit showcase with the penny pincher. We get a nice $15,000. Not that we're struggling for cash in this museum at the moment. We also caught and exposed all of the thieves that came by this time. So that is fantastic. We're going to wait for this one to come back. They will jump into analysis. At that point, Crimson should be ready to go out on expeditions, and Rio Thumper here should be leveled up. Currently, we have no experts in the museum maintaining anything though, so that is a little bit concerning, but I think it will be okay. And our first tropical climate fish is going to be the Flamboyant fish. They require flake food, which I don't think I actually have in that tank, so we must double check that as soon as we place them down. They're going to go in there. We're going to pause the game, and yeah, they don't have flake food. I put fresh food in here, which was a mistake. That's fine. We can go ahead and edit the room. Throw down a flake food dispenser in the back here. Span around to be the right way, and this fish should now be happy. Their buzz bonus is to be near another flamboyant fish, which is currently not possible, but that is our second tank started. So I'm going to continue on with that expedition room, that expedition location, except now we get to do it with Crimson Lily Fairy, which is going to remove all of the bad things. And then we can either go for the Expedition Journal or the Haggling Handbook. Haggling Handbook reduces the cost by $600. We're not really struggling for cash right now, so I think I would prefer to have the additional XP. And we could go for detailed expeditions here, but I don't think that's going to be worth it. You also have pilot wings, so I see no reason to not just do speedy events here. We're going to get 35% survey level. It's going to be far quicker, an extra 20 days down to 10, down to 5 with this event. That definitely seems worth it to me. I think that's going to be absolutely fantastic. So we're going to continue on, keep analyzing things as we find them, filling out this tank a little bit, and going from there. So that's a little bit interesting. I'm looking at this starfish that we just caught, and it doesn't have a food requirement. Maybe it doesn't eat. Maybe it just doesn't eat, but it's not giving me a food requirement here. It just requires a tropical climate. So I'm going to keep an eye on its food level just to make sure that it is actually okay in here. And if we click on another one, yeah, flake food. So that is interesting. I just assumed that we would have had to feed all of our fish, but apparently that is not the case. But we're going to continue on getting these fish up, getting them researched, and going from there. Kelpie Puffin has just leveled up, and we are going to go ahead and give them... I think to start with, I will give them rapid restoration. I think that's going to be a good idea. And then from there, I will probably go ahead and give them... that's a good question. What will I give them, actually? Potentially, I will give them Fish Whispering as well, just to make sure that we have sort of two all-rounders that can kind of handle pretty much anything we throw at them. We have another dilemma. What a wreck. Delving deep below the surface into a network of gargantuan caves, the team finds an old shipwreck. Who's gonna leave that be? Hunt for treasure. Seek and you will find, at least on this occasion, a giant treasure chest. So that will give us $15,000, but it will increase the expedition time by 7 days. I'm more than happy with that. Like I said, we really aren't struggling for cash in this museum. It looks like everything is at fair value, which is exactly what I want to see, and I am very happy with that. We're going to continue on. I do have both the fish from this location, but we are still working on deconstructing them. Looks like we just found a vandal, but that's going to be absolutely fine. We're going to continue on for the meantime. See, now at this point, it might be worth doing detailed things, just so that we can get both of these to happen at the same time. Or we could go for speedy and just do, how many is it? Yeah, 4 different surveys. So we should get 2 of these, 2 of these, and 2 of these in that same amount of time. I think that's going to be more worth our while. This is already at max quality, so doing detailed there doesn't help get our survey level up faster. I think that is going to be the plan. Alright, I think I'm going to change tact. So I currently have 1 of each fish in my aquarium that are pristine, but the other 2 copies of those fish are not. So I'm really only looking for the best quality exhibit survey thing that I can get. So I think I will go for the detailed. It should, in theory, take like 36 days because this slipstream event is guaranteed to happen now, but we're also guaranteed to get the sneaky survey. So I think that is the plan. I just want to fill this tank out with 2 copies of each that are both pristine. So you can see this one is only great and this one is only epic. Which is perfectly reasonable to have. I just am a little bit of a perfectionist that way and like all of my exhibits to be the highest possible quality that they can be. We also had a health and safety inspection just occur, so we should get the results of that momentarily, and hopefully they are happy with everything that we have going on. I'm not 100% sure if we have enough janitors and things. We also found a vandal right there, but I'm hoping that we did. He is about to leave, so we should get a letter at a second. There it is now. No cons, all toilets were well maintained and enough bins. We get a nice little bonus for that. And yeah, we're going to continue on. I'm going to try and get 2 pristine quality versions of the fish that are currently in this tank. Right, while we are waiting for that, we just have had a school trip come by, and it made me realize that we don't actually have any exhibits for kids in this specific museum. So I think it's about time that we go ahead and build the workshop. And the workshop is going to live right down here. I think I would like the door on this side. It seems like it's going to be closer for things like our staff, because our staff currently aren't really wandering over there. It's directly across from the break room. Toilets are nearby. I think that makes the most sense. We just need to figure out where we're going to put this workstation, which is absolutely massive. We're not going to actually have a ton of room left in this room for decorations, but we'll do our very, very best. I think that can probably go in the corner. That can go right next to it, potentially. Yeah, it fits. We'll throw a bin down in this little gap in there. If I can get it to sit nicely right in the corner. We can throw some spare parts either side of the thing itself. I think right about there should look good. And then in terms of decorations, we'll go for the stock standard. We'll grab ourselves a clock. We'll grab ourselves the rose plant and potentially a couple of rugs underneath these tables here, so it's a little bit nicer to stand. And that should get us up to a room decoration rating of 5 at 100%. If it ticks over, yes, it does. Perfect. So we now have a workshop. The question is, do we have any janitors that can work in there? And the answer to that question is yes, we do have one. Jennifer Windmill can work in the workshop, so we'll go ahead and queue up a project. Now, the question is, what do we want to queue up? What makes the most sense for this particular museum? Now, obviously, Tuna Forks is the most relevant. It doesn't have a ton of buzz, but this is an aquarium type museum. I think that makes the most sense. So we're going to start that project. Our janitor should get to work on that, and it's honestly probably worthwhile hiring one more. You're not bad. Fire resistance, delicate, and loyal. I mean, you're never going... Well... Do we ever want to send you on an expedition? Potentially. Maybe we just go for Mark Hero instead, who has no negative traits. We'll get rid of both of those so that that can repopulate. You are officially hired. And it might be worth our while training up another one of our janitors to actually be able to work in there. So if we look at our staff, yeah, let's just train Mark Hero up to work in the workshop. That way we have 2 and we don't have to worry about it too much. We are still running out of room. I don't know if we're going to end up with a cafeteria in here or if this is going to be more dedicated for exhibits that we find in the future, but we will have to see. So I'm going to continue trying to find this one last flamboyant fish that is of pristine quality because we currently have an epic in there. What is your buzz bonus? Near aquarium color? Yeah, I'm going to remove you for the moment. We can go ahead and deconstruct. Oh no, we're already analyzing something. The flamboyant fishes I haven't been deconstructing because they sell for $2,000 and you only get like $400 for deconstructing them. So I've been deconstructing the starfish, which give you a little bit more. They give you 800. I actually haven't checked how much they sell for, but again, we're not super concerned with money right now, so I don't mind just using this as a little bit of an XP farm. Looks like the tuna forks has completed. We have all of the knowledge required for it. I think honestly it could probably just sit right in there. It could also sit there, but I don't know, it doesn't actually fit, so it can't sit there anyway. We could also throw it down next to our workshop, which I don't hate that. This is sort of a popular area of the museum, but then again, so is this. Let's go for the workshop for now. It kind of matches the vibes. So I think we're going to sit it right about there. We will need to go ahead and get some decoration. It just needs marine life decorations to be happy. And we'll see what this ends up looking like. I think I can actually put these right behind that, which is going to look kind of cool. I'll decorate this out and we'll be back in a little bit. That is now at 5 out of 5, and I think we should probably just immediately queue up another project in here. The photosynthesizer also kind of makes sense for this sort of museum. I'm thinking this will probably end up being both aquarium and botany. I think that makes sense. I don't really love any of the other projects that we can do in here. These require materials which we haven't gotten to yet. I'm sure we will at some point, but yeah, I think for the moment, I'm going to go for the photosynthesizer as our next workshop project in here. Alright, we have the photosynthesizer, and I think the only logical place for this to sit is right in the middle of this section here. We might scooch it out just a little bit so that we can move that drinks machine, because I think that would make more sense to be over here somewhere. Just away from the wall a little bit, and that, I think that works. We could probably go ahead and throw down another firefly, maybe there and there, just to add a little bit more light to this specific area. And maybe you want one there as well. This does need some more decoration, so we'll go ahead and do that really quick. And I think that looks pretty good. It makes me happy enough. So we will go for that. We are still getting the message that we need more janitors, which is slightly concerning because we do currently have 5 of them. I think it's probably in our benefit to go ahead and get a mechanic though. So we'll hire you and hopefully that is enough. But we should now have a little bit more entertainment for the kiddos, which is going to be good. We don't have any other botany displays, so I think that is something we're going to have to work on at some point soon. But I would like to get these fish tanks up and running as much as I can first. Looks like one of our assistants has leveled up. I'm not going to worry about training them just yet. I'm just crossing my fingers that this is actually a pristine version. Please, thank you. Thank you. We now have all pristine versions of those fish in this tank, which is exactly what I was looking for. We can go ahead and deconstruct that starfish and get started on the next location. I don't know where that's going to be yet, so let's have a little bit of a look together. So we have Bone Bank, which is dinosaur bones, which I don't really want just yet. That's tropical fish. That is an obstruction. That is temperate fish. And I think that's about it for all the fish. So I think we'll probably go for the Marina Junction. Looks like we need to avoid sharks, hull leak, and perfect catch. We can absolutely do that. This is going to require a security guard as well, which is interesting. So we need level 6, which is easy. We need rapid restoration and fish whisperer. Crimson Lily Fairy does not have fish whisperer. Kelpie Puffin also doesn't have fish whisperer, so that is a little bit annoying. We're not going to be able to get the exhibit quality just yet, but we can go ahead and throw one of our security guards down here. Looks like Jezebel Peters has accelerated recovery from injuries. Or we have Gwyneth Flan, who has Expeditions Increase Happiness. I really don't think it's going to matter which one we do. Both of these are going to be counteracted. We're just not getting this perfect catch because we don't have Fish Whisperer enabled. I will go for 15% XP on all of our staff. This is going to cost us $5,000. I don't think there's any reason whatsoever to not do anything but safe. Speedy, because that's going to reduce the duration by quite a lot. And our survey level is still going to go up by 35% because we do have survey skills on Crimson Lily Fairy. So we're going to send them out, get ourselves some new tropical fish, I believe that was. Let's just have a look at the world map, make sure that is actually correct. Rewards are, 2 tropical fish. So we will slowly but surely populate this tropical aquarium. We'll get them all up to pristine. We will get them researched, all of the knowledge that we can possibly find, and we'll go from there. Lionhead fish, they do require fresh food, so we need to make sure that we go ahead and throw them down there. I hope they're not predatory. We'll occasionally eat other smaller fish. Careful where they live. So they will eat my other fish. We should definitely go ahead and set them up with their own tank. And that is going to be the exact reason that we set up these smaller aquariums. Now, I believe this door was going to go there. We'll get our water filter in right about there. They need fresh food, which we'll throw down. They also need a water heater, which we will throw down. And then just some decoration. So I'm going to accept that room, go back into that room, hit edit so that I can actually see what is happening. And we can throw down some of our new our new decorations, which I think is going to be nice to see. I really wish the collisions weren't so big on these things, man. I say it every time, but I mean it every time. Throw down some of that, and I'll be back once this is all decorated out. And then before this guy eats anything, we're going to make sure that we pick him up and throw him down in the actually correct aquarium. And he is a very cool looking fish, if you ask me. I really quite like that. That is going to be absolutely fantastic. This aquarium already has 30 buzz. I believe we've fulfilled all of his requirements. He just needs to be near rocks. Let's just quickly double check that everyone is at full buzz. You are not, because you're a big fish, which is cool. A rare specimen with higher buzz and breeding chance. 2 in the same tank will lead to fighting and possible death. Okay, let's just quickly check that we don't have any other big fish in this tank. It looks like we don't, so we're good there. But you need to not be near any aquarium plants, so that is actually not going to work. I guess you're just not going to be at full buzz for the moment. What are you? You are a pescatarian, which we already knew. And then for this tank, our starfish, we have school dinners. Finds food on their own, no dispenser required. They're brown bag. Oh, okay, cool. So they just don't need any food. That is fine. You have ocean view, a fine looking fish. Evocative of the sea, boosts environment. And you are both the same. You guys are all at maximum buzz, which is exactly what we want to see. We're going to continue on finding the rest of these fish at the new location with the lionfish. So we'll get you up to pristine, and find the rest of the things, and we'll go from there. Okay, so this is interesting. The turtle we just found, which I'll zoom in on so you guys can see it, has outer shells. So they protect themselves from being eaten with a hard or pointy perimeter. So they could indeed go in with this guy over here. But for the moment, I think I'm going to leave him by himself. He also needs to not be near any aquarium ruins, which we absolutely have in this tank. I'm not going to worry about that just yet. I was going to, but he's eventually going to be deconstructed because he's not a pristine version of the turtle. And yeah, we're going to continue on and we'll be back in a little bit. Another dilemma, we have tangleweed. Navigating a narrow underwater passageway, a crew member becomes tangled in seaweed and drops the exhibit. We have to save the teammate. Expedition time is going to be -4 days, and we have high morale. I imagine that's going to mean we don't come back with anything except for maybe some experience points. That's going to be okay. It is what it is. These things happen. I would rather that than have an injured person that we have to then go ahead and heal up. So, it looks like we did get the lionhead fish either way. That is an epic quality. We're going to send that to the inventory and go ahead and deconstruct that. I really don't care that much about upgrading these until we find the pristine version of them. So I'm going to continue on. And there it is. I was just placing down another exhibit that was donated to us, but that is our museum star rating increased. This following is an automatic message from the Department of Culture. Congratulations, you did it, whatever it is. That is another $10,000 and 25 kudos, but more importantly, that is Curator Class 3. You've been promoted to Curator Class 3. The Department of Culture has rewarded you the following items. That is 5,000 in cash, 100 kudos, and museums can now receive 4-star ratings. This is what we got from our mail. That is absolutely fine. We'll throw that down. It should be absolutely no problems at all. It is at maximum buzz, which is exactly what we want to see. And it looks like our next objective is to receive 2 more stars across our museum. So I'm going to continue on with this aquarium for the moment. It looks like we just need to earn $10,000 from the gift shop and reach museum level 18. That should be relatively easy to do. We also need a museum rating above 75%. We're currently at 74, so I'm going to consider that pretty much done. By the time we get to museum level 18, I can't see this not being, well, it's already complete. Never mind. I'm going to continue on with these expeditions, trying to find pristine versions of these fish, and we'll be back in a little bit. Looks like we have found the pristine version of this lionhead fish, but apparently this fish tank can only hold 2 large fish. So we're going to have to return this one to the inventory first, throw down the lionhead fish in there, and I'm curious whether or not this turtle is actually considered 2 or not. Yeah, it is. So we couldn't put this in here with this fish if we wanted to. Potentially we'll find another fish that can live in harmony with this guy, but he is at full buzz, so we're not too concerned about that. We also have enough to get full knowledge on him, and I believe we're already getting full knowledge on him, so that is absolutely fine. We could potentially just go ahead and sell him for $9,000. We are now just looking for the pristine version of the turtle, so we will be back in, you guessed it, a little bit. And there is the pristine version of our hermit turtle. We will go ahead and place him down right in here. He is not going to have maximum buzz because he needs to be also not near any aquarium ruins. That is going to be fine. We just need to grab this guy here, send him back to the inventory for deconstruction. We'll go ahead and sell those ruins. Make sure that this is still at 5 out of 5, and it is. I just want to move a couple of these things back so that this makes a little bit more sense in terms of decoration. That should be good, and now you should have maximum buzz. That is absolutely perfect. I think I also want to move this log back a little bit if I can get into the edit room menu. And for some reason, I don't know why, but that bug that I was talking about before where I couldn't rotate with Control and X is fixed. Don't ask me, I don't understand it, but that is going to be all good and well. Let's just quickly double check that everyone in here does have full buzz. It looks like they do. We have a spare hermit turtle in here to deconstruct. The deconstructor is finished. We got ourselves a Wetland bin, and we also got level 3 on the lionhead fish and a new perk. So we're going to deconstruct the hermit turtle. That is going to require a person to go and analyze that. That will be fine. We are still making money, which is absolutely fantastic. This museum is running, honestly, quite smoothly. So I'm going to wait for this to deconstruct, and then we'll be back in a little bit. Looks like that is finished. We get some extra expertise. And if we go to our exhibit list now, sort by knowledge, we have full knowledge on the hermit turtle and the lionhead fish. We also have pristine quality on both. Flamboyant fish, both pristine. Tuna forks is all good and decorated. Everything in here is looking good. The only things that we don't have full knowledge on are, of course, the things that we started with that we don't have any means of finding more of. So I am very happy with how that is going. Looks like we also don't have full buzz on the photosynthesizer, but I believe that's just because it needs to be near a botany exhibit to get that. But everything in here is pristine. Everything is looking fantastic. I think that was an excellent addition to this museum, and it's looking really good. I really enjoy this museum so far. I hope you guys are too. I think this is where I am going to leave the episode for today. So let's jump into photo mode as I do the little outtake. We'll focus on our lionfish here because I think he is my favorite addition to the museum. If you guys are enjoying the series, make sure to go ahead and leave a like and a comment on the video for the sake of engagement. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to go ahead and do that. Consider becoming a Golden Panda member so you can get your name in the game. But until next time, happy building, happy curating. Bye, guys.